we go. It's Friday night. It's time for VolcanoX, a live stream. And welcome everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. It is December the 2nd today. In some places you'll be in the future and have December 3rd already. But that is all right. We don't mind. We'll let you be in the future. Just send us the winning lottery numbers. Anyway, welcome everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And of course, the footage on stream or on the screen right now is actually from 2 pineapples, fresh from this morning. And of course, you can see the wonderful lava plumes continuing out there at Mauna Loa. And up top in the small box there, you see how the bacon is completely fried. That's for the really crispy stuff for those who like it that way. Anyway, love that insert. And yep, this is all blocky lava, like a bulldozer. Seriously, YouTube issues on my end. App unexpectedly closed twice. Holy Batman, how could you do that, Kim? And no, we didn't curse you. I hope you figure it out, Kim. No worries. Anyway, let's get at the show because we got a lot of stuff to cover, and I've been finding that we've been running longer and longer and longer all the time. And I'm trying to shorten it somehow, and not finding a way. But anyway, Sue Hayes, the first person in today. Sue gets the cookies, and we don't know how she actually did that. She ended up in way before everybody else, even before I turned the software on. And Fleur de Play PTV, please keep it in English if you can. That would be really good. And welcome. And anyway, let's get at things. Magic Doc, yeah, I don't know. Are you sure you're not Lucas Snow with the cookies? Or maybe you were Lucas Snow and now the truth is coming out. More robots, yep, we got that. Okay, Kim having trouble. Didn't do it, but I think bumping the Fox, Dr. Fox emoji will locked, which is locked. Okay, my YouTube freak out. Okay, well, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm not Lucas Snow, and I'm not Sue Hayes. For those who, hang on, Tom's not here. Oh, maybe he is. Anyway, no worries. Sue, of course, is at the other end of the country, and she is very far east, and I'm very far west. So long ways in between. And I'm surprised those electrons made it as quick as they did. I don't know. YouTube hates me. LOL. Okay, Kim, welcome to the club. And all good. Anyway, let's get at saying hello to you wonderful people, and then we will get into our other stuff. So Sue got her cookies. Of course, she was first one in, and we'll say hi to Tracy Bills and Kim Raudenbush and Kevin Haynes and Yaris993. And going up some more, Teresa is back. Welcome. Hermione and Fluffy are also here. Good to have you on board. Henry Nelson made it in. Juliet is here. And Fleur and the Liers PTV. I still don't know what that stands for, but we'll figure it out. Welcome. And Dave Cruck also in the house. Oz, welcome. I'm glad to have you in here from a wonderful Brisbane. And let's see. Klaus H. Guten Abend, Klaus. Good evening. And welcome. And let's keep going up here. We got Kevin, we got Teresa. Let's see. Kananaskis Country is also here. Welcome. And of course, I shouldn't forget about our wonderful moderators. I do see Arizona Snowman in here. I know C&D Boy was in already. I didn't see Piggy yet, but welcome to them. And also welcome to Gary 24/7 Live. He's at Skies, if he is in the background, as well as possibly some of the others that might be modding, like Joseph Fields, as well as Lucas Snow, and there's a bunch of others. So anyway, good to have the moderators on board. Thank you guys, and I'm going to keep going here. I see Juliet is in as well. Welcome, Juliet. Billy Bob Joe in the house. Good to see you. Going up a little bit more, trying to find a few other good names here. Well, they're all good names. We got Hermione, we got Kim, got Jarvis already. All right, scrolling a little faster, trying to search out others. Nancy Buchanan, welcome, Nancy. Glad to have you on board. Kathy is also here. Aloha, Kathy. Good to see you. And the friendly hypnotist is back. Welcome. What do you mean, buffering? Yes, keep your eyes on that circle and listen to my voice. Okay. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Keep going up. And of course, we had 2 pineapples was in here, but 2 pineapples needed to get some sleep, and that is of course expected. They were up very early this morning and got out there and got this wonderful footage we're seeing now on the screen, so kudos to them. And of course, if you guys haven't subscribed to 2 pineapples yet, you should. They put on some awesome streams, and they do have a 24/7 live. But that doesn't show this stuff all the time. It's of Kilauea. But they're working the other stuff in as well for Mauna Loa. Anyway, did I say hi to Kananaskis Country as I'm going up here, saying hi to everyone? I hope I did. Juliet in the house, yep. Brian, Perfectability 999 also made it in. Good to have you on board. And still scrolling up, looking for other names, and hopefully I didn't miss anyone. We got Juliet, and let's see, who else are we missing? Astronomy Live with David Brewer. No snow here. That's right. You're lucky. But you do have SO2 gas right over top of you, from all the way in Hawaii, which is really cool. Well, sort of. Anyway, that'll hinder your visibility a little bit. And let's go up a little bit more here and see Charles Fritz also on board. Welcome, Charles. And OFU Lux from Luxembourg flew in just for the lava cookies and show. And glad to have you on board. And let's see who else we've got that might have flown in from somewhere. And I'm up as far as I can see. I do see Tom Dice up there, and Tom made it just a smidgen late to get the lava cookies, but he was close. So Tom, I am going to give you one, just because you tried, and it was a valiant effort. And we'll secretly throw this in as well for Pepper. So there you go. You get a cookie, and Pepper gets a bone. Welcome, Sandra Rockland. Grandma B also in the house, as well as Leo Carlson. Good to see you. And we got Jarvis. It looks small, but bursts are pretty high, higher than the average one-floor house. Yep. Jarvis, they're still estimating it, but somewhere between, somewhere around the 100 to 200 foot mark. So if you go about 60 meters or so, and that's roughly about where it would be. JB is also in the house. Welcome, JB. And let's see, I think I got everybody else that is in here. Doc, how high are the bursts? Yep. About 50, 60 meters, something like that. So anywhere between 100 and 200 feet, roughly. And that is, it's a guesstimate by most people. And that is well within reason. Linda Schoof, waving madly at everybody. Welcome, Linda. Glad to have you on board. And let's see. I missed that about Sandra. Boy, the chat really flies at times here. If Sandra said something other than hi, I'll be in the lounge. Caught the nasty virus. All right. Well, the lava cookies will help, and that's all right. Anyway, nobody's out there measuring height of the lava. Not right now. They don't have anyone there. USGS has actually said that it is pluming up to 200 feet. So, it's up to you how you want to interpret that. I don't know if they did a triangular method of measuring it or what they did, but that was one of the things that's going on. Definitely lots of cookies. There you go, Sandra. Okay. Get well soon. All right, cool. Anyway, let's explore that a little bit. What's going on there in Hawaii? And I look at this and I kind of go, okay, wow, this is cool, and it looks neat. It's a fantastic site. It's awesome, and that brings me to my little point here that I want to bring up, and I'm going to change. Actually, let me get rid of this and this for a second. And we want to kind of just pop over to something else here for a second or two. We're going to use Shane's Getting Handy channel here. Of course, this was from Shane this very, very early morning. And that was an awesome sight. They actually caught a meteor coming down. And that was pretty cool as well. So that was nice, but what I want to get at is this scene that is right here, and hopefully that'll show up, and that is this. And you see that plume, and that is going up, and of course it is drifting out to sea. This is way too big of an eruption. This is. Yeah, it is it's wonderful looking though. And anyway, this plume is not a happy plume. And I am going to show you why I say that. As soon as I can get the other screen on the right spot. There we go. And that is this. And as you guys can see, that does not look very good. You see where all that SO2 is, and that is a large amount of SO2. And when we see it, of course, Hawaiian Islands are here, and the big island is over there. And this is all going all over the place here. And yeah, illegal in what? Force sailor drones. Drones are illegal in Hawaiian parks. Yep, actually in any of the U.S. National parks. So we don't get much drone footage from them, unfortunately. Anyway, looking at the map, so you see that coming up. It heads over northern portions of Mexico, and getting portions of Arizona, and even in California a little bit, as well as New Mexico, and all the way across Florida, definitely getting wiped out with SO2 down on the bottom here. Texas completely covered, and we see that plume has made it all the way out into the Caribbean countries, as well as getting all the way out into the Pacific, and the remnants hitting Greenland right now. And that is just incredible to see that it goes that far. And of course, this is day 5 of that eruption. If this thing continues to go, you can add a lot more intensity to this stream. Of course, this is going to circumvent the globe, and I'm not going to be a doomsday sayer or anything like that, but we don't know what's going to happen. Is this bad for the East Coast? What is this, Dr. Fox? This is the SO2 plume that is coming out of Mauna Loa and is going all the way across the U.S. and getting up into Canada as well, and down here in Cuba, and getting into Puerto Rico, those countries down there, Bermuda, all that stuff. So it's basically not good for most people. You don't want to be breathing that stuff, at least not high levels of it. And if you are in one of those areas, you might want to wear a mask. That will definitely help. And yo, everyone, Barbarian, welcome. And the plume is happy. The people aren't. Uh-oh. The plume is happy. Yeah, I'm sure it is. It is one of those things. But that's something that I wanted to point out right off the bat here. And I, really noticed how heavy that was. And that is just absolutely intense. And of course, you can go to windy.com if you want to see this for yourself. And the website up top there, windy.com, is right there. And you can set this thing with the extras over here for your SO2, and that will help you out. And you'll be able to bring that map up without a problem. Anyway, looking at that, that is just absolutely a massive amount. And they do have it out that it is 180,000 tons of SO2 per day coming out of there. That is a lot of SO2. So, yeah, you heard me right, 180,000 tons. So, lots and lots of SO2. Yeah, this plume of SO2 can change the weather forecast for the next days or weeks. Yes, it certainly can. Jairus, you're absolutely right. Now, I'm going to kind of use a little bit of a bite my tongue scenario here. Hypothesis is what I'm going to call this. Remember when Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai actually blew, and majority of the southern hemisphere was covered in a lot higher levels of SO2 for a short period. And then, of course, Mother Nature and the planet cleaned itself up and got that stuff out of the air and, through rain and precipitation, etc. So that worked out fairly well, but it also, in that case, warmed the planet, or allowed a warming cycle or trend, which is something is pretty interesting. That was a water vapor, Doc. Yeah, that's partially that as well. That it had higher concentrations of water vapor in it. But that scenario, though, is what actually warmed it, whereas this is, in all likelihood, going to cool us down a little bit. So, again, looking at this, I'm not going to start saying, hey, move or something, because we're going to all be done in igloos, but it's one of those things. This isn't going to turn us into an ice age or anything like that, so don't get that idea. But it is going to end up cooling the planet slightly if it continues to do this kind of thing. That volcano affected us here in Australia. Yes, it sure did, Oz. Silversmith, since the invention of the automobile, all those emissions can never compare to the volcano emissions. And you're absolutely right, Silversmith. You know, everything that we as humans have dumped into the air, it can be outdone by 1 or 2 volcanoes in a day or two. So, yeah, it doesn't take long. It does not take long. JB, what if we want an ice age? Well, JB, you can move to Edmonton. It'd be that way. Nonsense. We're not going to get an ice age. No. We're talking small or minute changes in our planet's temperature, if anything. We'll see. This is just the prelude or the start of this thing. If we'll see what happens down the road. Accumulations, of course, are going to be interesting. You know, if we see something go up a little bit more, or if it stays at this level, or even drops off. We're going to just kind of keep an eye on it. Like I said, I'm not trying to throw out any fears or anything like that. Just want to make you aware of where the SO2 is, where it's gotten, and how much has actually, according to the scientists, how much has been put out. And that is kind of a large number when you're talking 180,000 tons. That's a big number for a 24-hour period. So think about those things, and we will see what happens. I want palm trees growing in my state. Bring on global warming. Yeah, me too. I like the kangaroo. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's get back at our regular show here. So, pretty awesome to see that though. And clicked the wrong button. And I just wanted to kind of bring that to light. It is a different, scenario that we've seen before with some of these volcanoes. But we prefer not to really have them. Unfortunately, there are no 2 ways around them, and that is what we end up getting for right now. Anyway, we'll switch that back to the lavally lava for a second, and I'm going to try to read up on what's going on here. The volcano that erupts through sandstone has more gas. Mount St. Helens erupted through granite, which has less gases. Very good, thanks, Kevin. And yep, I will agree with that, or at least that's what I've read before myself. So pretty cool. And Jairus says we don't want an ice age. It would be extreme. Crops would die, and prices would go higher more than now. Yeah, well, you don't want any of these things. But if this thing calms down a little bit and we get a lot less SO2, definitely not going to see a heck of a lot of change in the climate. This will probably get washed out in a week or two. Same thing as what we've seen with Hunga Tunga Hunga up high. And hopefully that's all it's going to be, right? But if this thing does go for a 25-day duration of eruption, it's going to be a little bit in the air, right? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's head over to our most loved place, and that is Iceland. And I will put the brakes on this other one. Okay, you remember the Iceland eruption over there at the unspeakable name? I don't remember the exact name, and yeah, we got you though. in 2010, Europe had a very cold winter after that spring eruption. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, but if that did in fact affect it, and that is interesting. Welcome, Arma Scott. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, let's get in and see, where's my map here? Okay, and there we go. Beautiful night there. We can see the Perlin Center, of course. That is where these cameras are mounted, and we have the blue beam going by here that says 2 airplanes don't hit me, and that looks pretty cool. If we go back about 9 hours in the day, roughly, we can take a look at what it was like there in Iceland, get a pretty good idea. It was a so-so day. Looks like it is dry and not bad right now, but up in the hills you see the foggy stuff fairly low, and we can't see the tops of the mountains, so that's a good indicator. More wintry, gloomy weather that they've got there. Let's take a look at the other camera real quick and see what the regional airport in that area looked like. And this is all in Reykjavik, of course, and again, yeah, looks fairly dry, and we do see, it looks like rain off in the distance here, and perhaps coming out of these clouds as well. So probably some showers in the area. Quick peek over at our wonderful Katla, see if we can even see it. They did definitely have showers there this morning. And there you can see the big storm clouds right there, dumping all that water in, and that's probably not a good thing. But up here where Katla is, we'll probably see some snow or fresh snow up in the higher elevations. I'm just going to try to see if we can find a spot where we could actually see it. And maybe very close. No, well, you can see the edges a little bit right there, and in here, open spot, but not a heck of a lot. Sharon Stewart on board. Welcome, Sharon. And Ali and David, welcome, and glad to have you on board. And let's see, it's nature. There's nothing we can do to stop volcanoes. Not yet, Ali and Dave. Not yet. Give it another 2 centuries or so. We might get there. Anyway, yeah, you can see more of the wonderful ice hills back there, and of course, I don't think we're going to be able to see Katla at all. No, those clouds were gloomy and doomy there too, so that is what it looked like a little later. And then of course we get into the evening time, and that's what it was looking like, and it's even worse. So definitely some rain dropping, and possibly even snow right there. But let's leave that be and pop over to the harmonic tremor charts, and we'll see what we've got on those. And we'll start out at Astja. I'm going to refresh that just so it's up to date, and there we go. So that is Astja today, and unfortunately I don't think our other one is working yet. Thanks Tom for the 5-minute warning. And we do see a bunch of spikes in here, so that is pretty cool, telling us we do have some tremor activity, but unfortunately we're seeing things go way down again. And that's an indicator things are going to subside, well, at least for the interim. Let's take a look at a few of the other charts here as we go through. And of course, Fragrant Fjeld is the one we would love to see. Unfortunately, it is still broken, and we can't see a darn thing. And Wonky Donkey, welcome. Good to have you on board, Trevor. Let's go down and we'll take a look at a couple of the other ones too that are fairly close there. But also, let's maybe grab Grimsey first. And there's Grimsey. Wow, what a dive. It really dropped off in activity up there in the northern portions of Iceland. So Grimsey, of course, is an island by itself, and that is off the shores a little bit, but wow, what a drop. And let's take a look at what else we can find. Here's the one for Grindavik, and this one would pretty much reflect what we would have at Fagradalfjall to a degree. So seeing what we have there, mostly down, a little bit of up, and then back down again. That's kind of what we're seeing, and really not giving us any encouragement right there. Need some sleep. Good night, everyone. Ali and Dave, take care and have a good night and sleep well. And remember, tomorrow, Saturday, if you come to the show, it's on earlier, about 3 hours earlier on Saturdays, just so you know that. Anyway, let's pop into the other ones a little further down here. And this one still broken for Hertebreed, and Hertebreed, of course, is the place that is of interest today. But let's take a look at one more, and we're going to look at Krisavik. And Krisavik is on the other side of Ragnar, and there it is. And basically the same pattern we see at Grindavik, so downward, downward, and downward. And that is not encouraging, but hey, we know things can change very, very quickly without any warnings at any point in time there. So, always cool. Anyway, there we are with our earthquake map. And of course, on the earthquakes, we're going to do those after the break, but I just want to point out we have had 72 earthquakes in the last 24 hours in Iceland. And if you're looking at the map going, well, 72, hang on, we see 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, and then a stack right there. So, yeah. 72, you got 62 of them sitting right here, all in one spot, and that is at Hertebreed. So that is kind of what we want to talk about a little bit when I get back from the break. In the meantime, though, let's clean up these other ones real quick, all around everything. And this one was from 2259, 1.5. and 7.9, 4.7 kilometers down. I'm reading the wrong one here. And that, of course, is the island of Grimsey right there. That's that northern point. So that's kind of what we have seen up in that end. We've got a 0.1, very small, 3.8 clicks down. 2029 is the time on that. Then we'll just skip over these, and we'll come back and get Asja afterwards. This one a little closer to Bardabunga, but also not too far away from Asja. 0.8, 8.6 clicks down, 1816 was the time on it. And if we scroll out and zoom back in over here, we got a 1.43, 6.4 kilometers down, 9:47 this morning. Then we have this one here, 0.9, 1.3 kilometers down, or just about 4. And that was from 5:40 a.m. And then over here at the unspeakable name, 1.3, 500 meters down, 17:29 was the time on it. And then, of course, sliding over a little bit more, we see this guy, 1.03, 5.9 clicks down, 8:12 was the time on it. And then this one here is from 12:32, 0.34, 8.4 kilometers down for that one. And this is where our Fagradalfjall and Ragnar is, but we don't have any quakes at all around there. There is this 1.0, 4.5 kilometers down, 21:34 was the time on that. So when we come back from the break, we will take a look at the stuff around Asja and Hertebreed, and that should be interesting, and we'll go from there. So Grimsvatn, no, nothing at Grimsvatn. Grimsvatn is here. Oh, hang on. There's Grimsvatn. Grimsvatn is quiet. They got very quiet. Anyway, I'll come back after the break, and with that, let's put this back on some lavely lava, and I'll get that moving, use my magic power of the hamster, and there we go. And we'll also throw on some tunes. So for those good people who are here, if you have not yet, hit that like button, help us, and we are, of course, shooting to get over that 100 mark, hopefully over 200 today would be nice. So hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, you're sitting on the outside, you want to hop in and chat a little bit, or even just be a member, you are more than welcome to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification if you feel we've earned it, of course. And on that friendly note, stick around, more to come, and I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where it's cold, a little warmer today though. I'll be back. we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board, and thanks, everyone. Also wanted to say Merry Christmas to those people who managed to get the wonderful 1 month free membership, and that is awesome. Thank you for the welcome backs from Nancy Buchanan and Leo and Hermione Schaefer, as well as Kevin Haynes, and what slides in the rhythm, and welcome, and thanks Cookster, Littlefield, and JB, and let's see, I think we're good for right now. All awesome, and that is cool. Anyway, as what thanks Canon Asks Country, and thank you Sue, and oh, there we go, I hear you from Sharon Stewart. To be expected, and Eric, welcome, glad to have you on board, and I think we're good with everyone. Ray Jensen also here, and yes, you're welcome, Ray. And let's see, so yeah, I'm on it, Doc, okay. And DTB saying hello, Dr. Fox, and Derek from Florence, Oregon. And I hope it's a nice day in Florence. I took, whoa, a storm chaser, holy mackerel. Thank you very kindly. I was just reading the other guy's thing there. Storm chaser, that is 1211, there we go. Thank you kindly for that wonderful £5 super chat. Do appreciate that, sir. That is very kind of you. Anyway, what was I looking at here? Looking at from Florence, break from my cell phone, and now I'm back. How are you doing, and how is the room? I don't know how the room is. They were doing pretty good. It's hot. It's hot. That's how the room is. It's hot, and of course we have a lot of lava. And Storm Chaser saying thanks for the show. Oz, that's very kind of you. And Oz says, Doc, you are soon to be, what? Budgie smuggler aficionado. Oh boy. I hope you're not getting me in trouble, Oz. Thank you kindly for that wonderful $5 Australian super chat. That is excellent. Oh, I don't want to be a budgie smuggler. Oh, thank you kindly. And that is awesome, Oz. Okay. Let's get back to where we're supposed to be. And we're supposed to be looking at some stuff in Iceland. They're called earthquakes. And what did Tom say? Wonky donkey Earth would turn into Mars. Uh-oh. Yeah, it would too. We don't want that. Except for he'd be happy eating his carrots, you guys. Anyway, let's take a look here. We had the two little quakes at Astja itself. A 0.1, 5.4 kilometers down from 1547. And then from 2:03 a.m., a 0.62 of 5.36 kilometers down, and that is right there at Astja. Now remember what we were talking about. If these migrate more, we may see some action at Astja if we start seeing things down here rather than over here by Herdebrede. But we'll see what we've got here. A few small ones up on the northern side. 21 minutes after midnight for the third, which is in the future. Anyway, that is a 4.4 kilometers down. This one is from 1904, and that is a 0.3, 8.6 clicks down. That's quite deep. This one is from 2030.6, 4 kilometers down. And this one here, 4:12 a.m., 0.97 in magnitude, 3.4 kilometers down for him. And then we've got a whole mess down here on the southwestern side. I'm only going to pick out a few of them just to look. This is kind of the biggest one, I think. 1.87 in magnitude, just about 5 kilometers down, 4.9, and that is from 1244. Let's see some of the other depths. This one is from 1:45 a.m. 1.42 in magnitude, and 5.2 kilometers down for him. There's a 0.76 right beside it, 5.8 clicks down from 1236. And let's see, just grab a couple of these here as samples. 0.49, 4.9 kilometers down, 1:46 a.m. And maybe this guy here as well. 0.43, 3.7 kilometers down, and that was from 11:42. Maybe we'll grab these stragglers just to look. That one is 10.6 kilometers down, 0.54 in magnitude, 1:24 a.m. for him. This is newer, 239.4, 6.6 clicks down. And Cookster Littlefield, thank you very kindly, Cookster. Cookster and Littlefield. Okay, got it written down there. Thank you kindly for that $5 super chat. Do appreciate that. That is awesome. And thank you. And it says Melee something or other. Kalima, okay, is a Hawaiian. Was going to say a Merry Christmas to you, Doc, for your great worldly views. Why, thank you, Cookster. And Kalikimaka, I don't know if I said that right. Mali Kalikamala. I'll have to work on that. Thank you, though, and that is going to be a little bit tough there in the pronunciation. You will, I give you some time to, it's hard to pronounce, Doc. Okay, yeah, well, I seem to notice that my tongue doesn't want to go in that direction. But thanks, Cookster, appreciate it, and that is awesome. Anyway, looking at these stacks of little quakes that we've got here, we got a 0.96, 4.9 clicks down, 144 this morning. Then we slide over here, this fresher one from 2220, magnitude 1, 6.7 clicks down. And the 1.84, 7.3 kilometers down, 6:20 a.m. for him. And let's see what else is in that stack. 1.79. 7.4 kilometers down, 5:19 a.m. And that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're looking at there depth-wise on these quakes. And let's grab a couple more here. 10.5 kilometers down for a 1.17 from 5:19. And let's grab this one also. 2:33 a.m. 1.43. Just about 5.7 kilometers down for him. So it gives you a pretty good idea anyway what's going on there. These are still fairly deep. That could be something that's indicating that we have movement. But again, that is just my hypothesis that we may have movement towards Astja. We'll see what happens if we do see these moving a little bit further. It will be interesting. And remember, we used to have the huge swarm up here, and it is now down here. And it's kind of odd to see that, you know, all of a sudden this is just blowing through for a eyebrow paint remover. Wonky donkey, how did you notice that red paint still in there? Wonky donkey. Thank you very kindly for that super chat. I appreciate that, and we'll work on getting that paint out of there. And thank you for the 2 pounds. That is awesome. And just trying to write that down here. Okay, there we got it. Thank you, Trevor. That is very kind of you. Anyway, that is what we're seeing on our wonderful Iceland right now. So Kind of makes you wonder, are we going to see something happening here after all? I'm still hoping for a Christmas volcano. I don't want to really be over here at Asja or Hertebreed. I prefer it to be over here, of course, for our Siggy Fisher, or there at Ragnar. That would really, really make me happy. And we'll see what our future brings, you guys. But anyway, let's carry on with other volcanoes around the world. And of course, we'll head over to Sicily. And we all know that Yvonne Kunkel is in Sicily right now. She's over there somewhere. Oh, hang on, it's dark. You can't see a darn thing. Let's see if we can light that up a little bit in there. This is about 9 hours and 36 minutes ago. That is what it looked like. It wasn't very viewable. They are shooting the sky for the most part there. Let's try on the other camera, and we'll give it the same thing. That is going to be even worse, guys. Sorry. But this is kind of the visibility this afternoon there. And that is not very good at all, unfortunately. And you can see it was raining, and likely a little bit more snow up top. And Yvonne is probably going to have a heck of a day tomorrow, since she gone up to the observatory, but they haven't gone up on the mountain yet. Anyway, that is kind of what we're seeing right now. That is live, but let's show you when I did get this morning, and that is this little guy here. And oh, actually, let me stop that for a second. I'm gonna just stop it and go back. We'll try that again. Okay. Whoop, I'm doing it wrong. Let's click on it there. Oh, it kicked in anyway. Anyway, you see where the lava is in the center there? Again, that looked like it's still coming out of about the same place today as it was yesterday. Yesterday, of course, it did appear to have moved up a little bit and created that kind of a split in there. But it's not bad. Let's see if I can color on here. So it's up to that point there. And we'll have to take a look and see what we note tomorrow morning. And hopefully it will kind of stay in that same place but increase its flow. The other thing here that we notice is, of course, when you look around at the top here, quite a bit of smoke, even though this is coming out at 128 times faster than normal. So lots of snow on Mount Etna, yes, all that snow, beautiful. One of the things that you got to watch out for, though, with having all that snow, it can, if we have an immense eruption and lots of lava spewing out, we can end up with a bunch of lahars. And of course, those are melted water and snow and volcanic ash and debris being washed down the hills, and that's not good for the residents that are close by. So that is something to keep in mind, and fingers crossed that we do get an eruption that is going to be spewing out some lava. But a nice fountain is what would be on the agenda, in my opinion. So there you have what we've got there for our wonderful Mount Etna today. Tremor charts are about the same at a medium level, a medium just slightly above medium. So we're not going to worry too much about what that looks like, but just so you note, there is, continued lava flowing out of Mount Etna right now. We'll get more information tomorrow when Yvonne gets up on the hill, and she did promise to tell us about it and stuff like that. So hopefully she can do that, and that would be very awesome of her. And on that note, let's move over to the next one. Thanks, Tom, for the 5-minute warning. Got that. We will go over to the Azores, and we'll have a quick peek there. Azores are not so friendly today. We do see the lit up clouds up here telling us the moon is there, but it is quite windy there from what I understand, and a little bit on the rough side as far as the ocean is concerned. This down here, for those who are new, this is a harbor, and of course one of the small towns. We are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. And the lights that you see off in the distance here, that is actually the island called Pico Island, and it's about 18 kilometers across in between the two here. If we show you this picture, that gives you a better idea. There's the harbor down below, town site on the right hand side, and then of course top center there you can see that big mountain. That is Pico, a volcano. So there we go. And anyway, let's just show you the other shot here. That's the little cove we're going to bring up next. And that is this one here, to see where we've got white water. And as I was saying, it's quite windy there. So we are seeing a lot of white water in the little cove. So take your big boat and make sure you got your yacht rather than the little skiff that you're using. So that's what you want to make sure of. Lots of white water in there. So let's take a look at earthquakes though for that area. And we'll make that bigger right away. There we go. Looking at it, we see one earthquake on São Jorge, and that doesn't mean that's all the earthquakes in the Azores, but that is the only one on the island of São Jorge, and that is a 1.5 from 5:14 a.m. and it doesn't show anything major there. Let's go to the other map and take a look and see what we've got there. Of course, I'm going to refresh it so we get the latest and greatest. And come on, I hit refresh. There we go. Got it. All right, make that map a little bigger and bigger, and let's close that ad. That shirt was blinding. Anyway, there we see the island of São Jorge, and of course I thought one earthquake, and it indicating that it is a 1.5 20 hours ago, and surface quake, so nothing too major there. And of course there you can see Pico Island, Fayal Island, and Terceira. Terceira, of course, is where the other volcano is, and that is showing active or some activity there in the Azores, just so you know where it is. And we slide down the East Azores fault, and we get to this guy. It is a 2.5, 10 kilometers down. And that happened at, what was it, 1657 GMT. And that is the time on it for them there. So that is pretty cool and interesting. And of course, we didn't see anything else on this map all the way to the back. But we will always check on this area, since it is partially reported from our wonderful ING guys here in, I think it's ING. Boy, I can't remember. Anyway, they from the Canary Islands. We'll take a look and see if there are more quakes. We don't see anything else on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge right now, and even going up here, we don't have any more activity at the end of the Regenser Ridge. And let's zoom back out a little bit more so you can kind of get a better idea where you're at. Of course, Portugal and Spain right there, Azores right there, Canary Islands here, and Newfoundland, Nova Scotia over there, and somewhere over here is New York. And Florida. Florida's nice, but it's got SO2 today. Anyway, there we go. That is good for that area. And looking at, do we have time to go to another volcano? Yes, we do. or do we? Somebody type something in so I can see the clock in the chat. And no, it is Pepsi time. So, okay, we will get that one ready, and we will have that to look at when we get back. And of course, that is Popocatépetl. Well, actually, we're going to look at bacon seeds when we get back, but then we'll go to Popocatépetl. And, oh, somebody's calling Pop It. No, don't do that. Pop It, calm down. Anyway, you guys, I'm your host, DrFox2000 here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, give it a quick bop and really help us out. Of course, we're shooting to get well over that 100 mark, and YouTube analytics really does make a difference when we get over there. And that 100 seems to be a magic number. They definitely advertise it a whole bunch more after that. So give it a shot, help us out that way. Also, if you're new, you have not yet subscribed, please do consider that. And yep, we do have a UFO on screen right there. You can see it. It's moving, and it's a light. And there's another one over here. Look at that. Boy, oh boy, I should become a UFO watcher, a UFO channel watcher. Maybe conspiracy theories, and that'll be cool. Anyway, CVET, welcome, and all good. So we'll put you back on some lava for right now. And of course, that is compliments of 2 pineapples from this morning. And for those who have not subscribed to 2 pineapples, please do consider subscribing, and that would really be good. That's a satellite. JB, how do you know? Were you able to identify it? Can you tell me which one it was? I bet you can't. You can think it's a satellite, but we don't know. It's unidentified. You can't tell. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go take a break, you guys, and have some smiles and chuckles here in the background. Be good, be kind, and we'll come back with bacon seeds after the break. Anyway, take care. Don't go away. More to come. Thanks, guys. And there we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And I see Geoplanet Jane made it in. Welcome, Jane. Good to have you here. And Kananaska's country also in here. And Canada. Canada. Way to go, Canada. I think that's his new nickname, Canada. Kananaska's country. That'd be cool. And thank you for the welcome backs from Leo and Sue. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And Kananaska's country, of course. And Kevin Haynes. Geoplanet Jane says, I'm here. Okay. Glad you're here. Hang on, you're not here, you're there. Anyway, good to have you on board, Jane. Oh, cool. Anyway, I did promise bacon seeds, so let's go over there and do that. We'll stop this lava goodness for right now. And of course, that is Mauna Loa on its day 5 doing its thing. So definitely some output continues. Who's on first? No. What's on second? Never mind. I thought who's on third? I don't know who's on third. Oh boy, this is getting really confusing really quickly. Save me, bacon seeds. And Merry Christmas, bacon seeds. Anyway, let's go. And they're happy. Anyway, let's see what Piggy sent us today. And she was sending more stuff. Piggy, actually, I spoke with her earlier, and she said, oh, she's not going to fall asleep or anything. She'll be awake for the show tonight for sure. And lo and behold, I think she's having a snooze. Sarah Miles, I don't know, is on a third. Well, if you don't know who's on third, then what's on second? Never mind. Oh boy. This has gone downhill. Okay, bacon seeds. Anyway, like I was saying, Piggy, I did talk to her, and she is okay and doing fairly good in spirits, but those meds are still kicking her down, and it is doing the thing. Anyway, the show, Sarah Miles, why are you going with a down chart? Are you not up to date? We want to. Piggy is doing okay. She's got an upward chart right now, so she's getting better. Anyway, that beautiful little bacon seed wearing a wonderful little Santa hat. That is awesome. Gotta love that, you guys. And who wasn't on third? Who wasn't on third? Oh boy. Lots of nice things to eat. Oh, look at this smile on him. And of course, that wonderful, beautiful little bacon seed, and loving what they love best, and that is food. So, pretty cool. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Is one saying on his stream that will get you timed out. Yeah, maybe. Next one, and this is a Santa early arrival. A cute little fella. That is gotta be a awesome looking little guy and or gal. I don't know what it is, but definitely very, very cute. So gotta love it, you guys. Wonderful bacon seeds so far. I do appreciate them, and thank you, Piggy. And let's get the next one up here. And that is this one. Seems to be a commonality. They all seem to have hats today. This one's even got a scarf gone out for a wander out in the great outdoors. Got to keep warm somehow. Need a scarf for sure. Every piggy's got to have one. And let's take a look at our next one. And that is this one. It says, Christmas time is nearly here. Join us join us for some festive cheer. Hey, that rhymes. That's a very thoughtful pig. Thank you, pig. We do appreciate it, and it looks like you've been already having some cheer there. That belly looks awful pot belly alike. Anyway, let's get to the next one, and that is this guy here, and that is, of course, look at all the little piggies on the tree. That is an awesome little tree. And what do you think? I bet you that's what Piggy's tree will look like, and there's even presents under there. That is awesome, and that is really, really cool and wonderful. And let's see what we've got for the next one here. And I hope I got this right. And there we do. I do have it right. Look at that. That's a little guy in a bucket. But that's not a pig. Hang on here. I may have loaded the wrong last picture. Maybe. But okay, maybe I didn't. No, I think we're good. All right, never mind. I'll leave that in there, and that is that's definitely not a bacon seed. That's more like carrot seeds, flying a pig tree. Yep. Anyway, that is a bunny, and we love those little guys. They're awesome. Okay, so let's carry on with going around to other wonderful places, and we were going to take a look at the fantastic looking scene. My tree is better, Doc. Oh yeah, you should see Tom's tree. Actually, it's on the other computer, Tom, so I'll have to dig it out for tomorrow, and we'll see if we can compare the two, and maybe we'll take a vote and see which one is a better tree, and see if there's any bias there. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, you guys, let me get at Popocatépetl. Let's see, where's my screen? I need that screen. This is the present view, and it is actually a very stunning. We have a lenticular cloud stacked on top of Popocatépetl. We do see some output from it. We don't have any more UFOs floating by, and it is 19:15 is the time there, or 7:15 p.m., and that is what we're seeing right now. And if we go back a little bit, we did see it pop out a little bit of a puff earlier, and that is kind of what it's been doing all day long. Nothing too heavy duty at all, and it is, I guess, just chugging away, doing its thing. I'm just trying to back up to a point here where we have bigger plumes of sorts, but we really didn't. It was kind of clear or white or smoke or exhaust today. I shouldn't call it smoke. It's gas and stuff coming out of there, but definitely doing its thing. And then earlier for a long time, it was just kind of slugging away, not doing a heck of a lot. I noticed a lot of fog on it, though. I don't know why that would be, and even that's at 11:10. Even when you go back a bit further, at 7:32, we even seen that fog sitting there. So I wonder if it's trying to dry itself off or something, but didn't see too much. And then if we get into the golden times, that's somewhere around here, and we see the little tiny plumes coming out of there, nothing really major, and getting back into nighttime, and that of course 5:43 a.m., and that's another good time to view satellites going by if you are into that. When they have clear skies here, it's always awesome to be able to see the the satellites are slowly moving by, and usually at dusk and dawn is when you see most of them. So pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll leave that be. That is, of course, a Popocatépetl, and that is located about 70 kilometers south of the big capital, Mexico City, and that is definitely in Mexico. And here's the other shot of it. I had pulled that back from earlier today, and that didn't look too bad, but we had a kind of a neat sunrise there. There it is. That was kind of a nice shot for breakfast. 6:32 a.m. on that one. Anyway, that one, let's put that back to live right now. And that shows you a little better what that lenticular cloud is doing. And again, fairly clear skies up top. So very good to see that for a change. Fumes, yep, they are fumes. Don't breathe that stuff. And that would be not good for you. Anyway, moving on, let's go over and have a look at this gray stuff on the screen. Now, they promised me that they would show me the volcano earlier, and they did for a little while, but not much. Let's see if we can get to where it was visible and where we've seen it. Anyway, it wasn't visible for too many hours. We know the last 2 days have been in clouds, so Fuego has been doing its thing, but let's see if we can back up just a little bit. This is at about 3:07, 3:08 p.m. or 15:08 their time this afternoon. And we can actually see the mountain. Yes, it's very windy there. That's why the camera is shaking. But you do see the material blasting out of there. Very high velocity, and of course when we see it moving at that kind of speeds, always keep an eye out for volcanic lightning, although this doesn't have a very high moisture content, so it may not produce that much volcanic lightning, not like other ones like what we had at Cumbre Vieja as an example, or even over at Sakurajima, where there's a little bit more moisture in the ejecta. And let's move this ahead a little bit. There's another blast, and they come in fairly quick succession as of late between them, and then it sits down and says, okay, going to be quiet for a couple of minutes, or even 20 minutes, half hour, and then it'll pop again. And again, it got into clouds for a little while, and of course those clouds are trying to overwhelm it, and that is just an awesome display of clouds, really. But we did have a little bit more of a clear visibility anyway. I won't say clear weather, because that is not the way it is. Hermian, get some sleep. Go to bed. Good night, Hermian. And no worries about having a sleep. You got the important parts of the bacon seeds, and of course some of the wonderful lava. So you can have lavely dreams, and that'll be good. Good night, Hermian. And anyway, that is what we were seeing, and it's nice to be able to see Fuego again, since it's been hiding on us for the last few days. And here's another eruption at 15:38, and we see that one. I'm just advancing it a little bit here so we can see if I had multiples coming out of that. Looks like only a single shot at that time. And let's see if we carry on a little bit more. Right about here. This one looked like, actually, hang on. That looks like a boogeyman sticking his arms out, coming out to play. I don't know. Anyway, that is a quite darkish material. Now, one of the things too is the sun is silhouetting it, but we do see a lot of material or debris coming down the side of the hill. A lot of dust being raised, so definitely something going on there. And again, this is multiple shots of that ejecta one after another, so definitely something in the pipes there to keep everyone going. And that is 3,767 meter, the highest volcano in Guatemala. Yeah, Volcano de Fuego. Yeah, that's right. 12,364 feet or thereabouts. So pretty tall. Yep, it is. And the camera is mounted on the next one over, and it is only mounted at about 10,000 some feet. So it's up in the wind, and that's why it shakes, and that is pretty cool. So anyway, that is, it did show itself there for a little while. A few more of those blasts coming out, and some of them not as intense as others, but it is nice to be able to see that volcano again and see it actually doing something. So right about here we had a pretty good one. There looks like there we go, got it going, and that is at 4:22 p.m. their time. So very, very cool. And yeah, it is a wow moment. We do agree with that. And let's see if we can get, there's a bigger one in here I wanted to get to, and that should be right about here somewhere. And multiple, again, when we see these go off, it's like multiple shots coming out of this thing. If that's the right one, it may not be the right one. Yeah, it is the right one. Okay, so it had the little shot, then all of a sudden it got another bigger one right after it. So pretty cool, pretty awesome to see. Thanks, Tom, for the 5-minute warning. And there's our second portion of it. We'll take a break, or we'll take a break. We're going to go take a look at Merapi right away, as well as our other ones there in New Zealand. Well, we'll see the one in New Zealand. I'm still trying to get the still shots and stuff for our wonderful Taupo, and we'll see if we can get that Taupor, if I said it right. Anyway, that was kind of big, and a lot of shaking going on, so that's what we've got. Anyway, we'll put Fuego back to live, and of course that is the soup you see right now. The clouds have moved back in after the sunset, so that's okay. Anyway, this one is Merapi. Merapi is in central Java, in Indonesia, on the island of Java. And of course, as you can see, 8:26 a.m. in the clouds. And if we go back a little ways here, about an hour ago, you can see it has quite a bit of steaming or off-gassing up top, and that is indicating that it is still quite active. We still have not seen a caldera collapse of any type. Still waiting for that. People were saying that it's going to do that, but I kind of like, we'll see it when it happens. But going back a little bit further in time, 7:10 a.m., kind of the same thing. We do see it is continuing to off-gas there, and then if we get into the nighttime portions, it is mostly in the clouds, and we're not going to spend too much time on it. Let's see, there it is out of the clouds here for a minute or two, about 9 hours ago, and that's what we've seen at 23:26 their time. To me, it almost looks like there's a little bit of a lava glow up here, but hard to tell, really hard to tell. I don't know if you guys notice that or not, but anyway, that is pretty awesome. And why do I have a video loaded here? What is this? Oh, we've seen that before, never mind. And let's pop over and take a look at, oh, it's got to refresh. There we go, and that is Mount Ruapehu, and Ruapehu over in New Zealand. We only see the base of it where the cloud covers up the top portion. It does have a snow cover from about here up, obviously, and looks pretty cool, pretty awesome. Let's back that video up a little bit, and maybe we'll see a little bit more if we go back to about here. And let's see if that works. Yeah, we do see a little bit more of the actual volcano, but not quite as much as we'd like. Anyway, it is pretty awesome to see that, and it is relatively quiet right now, not doing a darn thing. And we'll see what happens in the future for that. And again, this is the website for our Taupo, if I said it right. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link in the chat for this site, so if you guys care for that, you can always go there and take a look. There it is, GeoNet, and that is .org.nz, and then that'll give you this site. You guys can take a look at it. They've got all kinds of information on there, the alert stuff, what's going on, and the unrest level, and so on. So minor volcanic unrest considered there as a 1, very, very small, and nothing too big. Let's see. I just got an email in here. Got to see what is on that email. And hang on, I want to see what it is, and that looks awful a lot like what I just put up there. It is exactly what I just put up there. Thanks, Sue, and but I think I got it already. That is on the screen, and that's what we've got. So pretty awesome. And you guys are more than welcome to go over to that site. Snap. Yep, just like that. That's how you snap. Anyway, there you go. So all kinds of stuff going on there. You can definitely watch the monitoring and the earthquakes, and it'll give you a pretty good idea of where the clusters are and where it is in the lake there. And you can definitely zoom in, and and you can also go down to the charts down below and see where things are depth-wise and so on, and gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. There's your latitude and longitude kind of thing, I guess, from the looks of it. So anyway, that is, and it gives you the history, so that's pretty cool. You guys can do what you need to there with that one. And our next one will be, of course, Semaru. And we'll take a look at him after the break, though. Mauna Loa lava is really hot. Actually, what I seen was 1190 degrees Celsius. So whatever that works out to, that's got to be almost not quite 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. 1190 was what I read, 1194. So 1194 C. If you guys have any different information, by all means throw it out there. I'm all ears, and that is what I had. Anyway, I'm going to pop this back over to that lovely lava, and you can measure it on the screen if you like. And there you go. Just don't get yourself burned, okay? I don't want to pay for that. That's one with sulfur. Looks blue at night. Oh, we like blue lava. And blue lava is cool. High in sulfur. Excellent. All right, throwing on some music, you guys. Don't go away. Lots more to come. Let's play in the lava. Yeah, be careful. Don't burn yourself. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. And also, if you're feeling that we've earned the subscription, by all means, hit that button. Thanks. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where it's really cold. I'll be back. And there we go. A microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000. You're watching VolcanoX live stream. And glad to have you all on board. And thank you, Sue Hayes and Leo Carlson, Kevin Haynes for the welcome backs. You guys are awesome. And of course, Sharon Stewart in there with, hear you, Dr. Fox. And thanks, Ken in Askus Country. And get back in here, Doc. Welcome back. Thanks, Cookster. I'm here. I'm watching the lava. I hope none of you wandered out there into the fields to get yourself some of that. That would be kind of interesting. That is cool. And we like it. Anyway, my understanding is that a lot of Hawaii's lava has very high amounts of olivine in it, from what I was told. So that could be interesting. We'll see what these levels are. No hiking, stay on the road. You bet. You get too close to that, you're going to cook yourself. And you don't want to do that. Now, we did see that temperature was, where was it? That somebody converted for us. There it is. Kevin Haynes did that. It was 1194 degrees Celsius, 2181 Fahrenheit. So 2181 Fahrenheit. Now, this is still a little bit cooler than what we were seeing out of Ragnar, as an example. So Ragnar was just a little bit higher. Magnesium iron silicate with a chemical formula of Mg, FrFe, or so magnesium, iron, and what is it, sulfur, something or other, and 4 pieces of oxygen. Okay, lots of stuff, because I Googled it. Okay, Cookster, if you did, you did. That is excellent. And I thought, here, you're just pulling it out of your brain, just writing it down, and away you go. Anyway, let's get over, and we'll pause this, and we will go take a look at our next volcano on the list. And of course, that is Semeru. Semeru is continuing to be busy, and of course we don't see Semeru too well. There's these big fluffy things in the way here. I think they call them pillows. Hang on, those are clouds. Anyway, let's back up a little bit. We do see the volcano a whole bunch better a little bit earlier, and actually that is a very clear shot, but unfortunately we didn't see anything puffing out of it. I was trying to find where it is here. There was one just a little while ago, and that might be close. Let's make that a little bigger. Oh, I think I went a little too far here. Let's back up a few seconds, and we'll see if we can get it on the right spot. And yeah, well, put the stuff back, or the stuff back in the can. There we go. And that's how we make canned lava. We reverse the video. Anyway, there is how the plume emanated out of it. Pretty awesome to see. And that is, even in the very, very bright sunshine, you can see that it is a fairly dark in a gray material. A lot of tephra stuff in there. So you've got some ash, you've got various gas chemicals, as well as some water vapor or moisture in there as well. So lots of stuff inside that wonderful thing, and you see it pluming up there. That's pretty cool. Wasn't enough to see it flow down the hill here, unfortunately. Let's back up a little bit more and see if we can find another one of those. There was a couple of them here just when they got it going, and we'll try right about here. And I didn't note the time on the other one. Anyway, 6:57 for this one, and that should be right on it there. You can see it starting to come out, and it was a pretty cool sight. And of course, again, same color, same type of stuff. So what happened? Just a burn. Who got a burn? Oh no! Don't burn yourself. Did you go into the lava and burn yourself? Oh boy. Let's see. Wonky Donkey says everyone enjoys the rest of the show, and I'm off to bed. Good night, Wonky Donkey. Take care, and sleep well. And I guess you got your donkey stall there. Get that hay fluffed up just right for you, or the straw, whatever you're using, and that would be cool. Welcome, Thor. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, that is what we were seeing from Semeru there. If we back it up a bunch here, we do see it in the earlier morning hours when it was just barely glowing, and we don't see any lava there. But if we go back a little bit more, we do see a tiny bit of lava up in the top of the caldera, and a couple spots down on the side. So we definitely know it's active, doing its thing, and throwing out, well, I don't think it was throwing out that much SO2 this time around. So we'll see what happens there. You can see it glowing a little bit more intently, and that is not bad. That is, of course, at 2:14 a.m. their time. And let's see if we can get, there's one here where it just had a little tiny puff upward, and I wanted to get it on there, and that was this. So it got a little bit brighter, but again, a little on the hazy side at that point in time. That's 1:25 a.m. at their time. So it does look okay, though. I mean, it's not the brightest volcano, and it's not the closest shot either. So looking good, though. We know Semeru is continuing to do its thing, and that is all cool. Anyway, let's carry on to our next ones, and of course that would be to Japan. So let's do a little travel and zip ourselves over to the wonderful Japanese area down in the southern end. And of course there you see Semeru, sorry, not Semeru, Sakurajima. Boy, starts with S. Sakurajima has been continuing to off gas for the last 7 or 8 hours or so, doing a fairly good job to be continuous in pluming that material out. And I'm just not quite sure if, these were extra bursts or what was going on. This is already back to 10 a.m. and that's what we were seeing then. If we go back a little bit further, we see it here at 9 a.m., same kind of output again, and even in the earlier hours at 8:22, continuing with its output, and there we go at 7:41, still there, doing its thing. And as we keep going back in time, 6:30, it was still doing it. So definitely quite a bit of a show coming from it. And as far as eruptive, quiet eruptive activity, and that should be a lot of off-gassing. Anyway, 5:30, 6 in the morning, still the same thing. And even when we go back a little bit further, we still see it off-gassing there, even though it's already at 3:45 at night. So didn't ever see any lava plumes, though, or any lava glow. This is at 1:46. So it's been off-gassing pretty steady for the most part. And this is another hour earlier, and you can still see that plume. It really hasn't changed any or died out. So we're going to go back to live. That's what it is right now, 10:49 a.m. There in Japan. Let's take a look at the wider shot. The ice cream boat is in, you guys. So if you want an ice cream, you can head on down and get one. There, of course, is Sakurajima, our wonderful volcano, and you can see it throwing out that gaseous material. So, yep, I head on down, get an ice cream, and that'll be pretty good. You can enjoy that ice cream. I like ice cream. Next place to go is this one, Suwanoshijima. And Suwanoshijima, again, in very cloudy conditions down in the southern islands of Japan. And unfortunately, really not too much to report on it. And we do see some off-gassing out of the caldera right in here. And it really didn't do anything really major. There's some glow from the caldera. You can definitely tell there is lava in there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be glowing. And that is about the gist of it. So that is 2:45 a.m. or 2:54 a.m. Sorry, and that is still showing some unreasonable glow. But we don't see any lava. We want to see lava. And there's a shot from just about 2 a.m. So we'll leave that guy be. And that is kind of what we've got going on for him. And of course, that one is the other one for ASO. And ASO is still not on. But this, of course, is Mount Fuji, and that is live. That is right now, and that is beautiful. We love seeing that nice clear sky up in the background there. And of course, you see the amount of snow that's sitting on Mount Fuji. Not as bad as what we've seen a couple times last year, but nice to see, though, that they do have some snow up top. So pretty awesome. And I think last year I mentioned I really had never seen it without snow on. And during the last summer, we really did, for the first time, I seen it without snow. So I thought it was kind of neat to see that, but it does have snow now. Anyway, if we do back that up a little bit, this is about 2.5 hours ago, a little clearer shot there. And still a lot of haze in the area, but hey, that's okay. It's early in the morning. It's going to burn off after a while, right? And we'll put that back to live, leave it there. Of course, we'll leave you with the ice cream boat shot. We'll move on to our next volcano. And of course, that is going over to North America. And we have a snowstorm happening at the next one. And that is in the dark. And this, of course, is a Yellowstone National Park. And we do see that it's inclement weather. And, of course, it's nighttime there. So all we get to see is the wonderful parking lot. We don't even see, I think the buffalo even went to bed. So anyone that wants to go there, Leo just brought up that link. He typed in Jellystone, and this, of course, during the day, it's something else to look at. It is a wonderful site. You guys are more than welcome to jump in there and grab that link and enjoy the USGS site where they have this stream embedded, as well as multiple maps and lots of information. And links to the other still cams and stuff that they have on site. So you guys are more than welcome to have a look there and do your thing. And let's go to our next one here. And of course, that is our Kilauea. Well, no, that's not Kilauea. that is the other one. And we will find Kilauea. Kilauea is here somewhere. We had it. There's Kilauea. Let's see if we can find the right spot. Yep, that'll work. Anyway, there is the lava pond in the caldera of Kilauea, and that is also in Hawaii. That is also continuing to erupt. It is considered to be in an eruptive state yet, even though Mauna Loa right now is stealing the show, but hey, it is doing what it's doing. And I would really like to see both of them going off at the same time. Thanks, Tom, for that 5-minute warning. And we see here is where the lava tube is that feeds this lava pond. And of course, the flow goes in, and you see all these funky different patterns that happen after the lava crusts over a little bit. So that's a very thin crust on there. And then when it gets to certain places where it drains, like over here on that end, you'll see the lava actually. Hey, Jed throws that in. Thanks for the SO2 pointer, like your data tips. Thank you very kindly, Jed. And let me write that down before I finish my other sentence. And James Donnelly, there we go. Donnelly. I should just write Jed down, but this way I know who it is. Thank you very kindly, Jed. I do appreciate it. That is awesome. And super chat. Thanks. Appreciate it, and very kind of you. Anyway, looking at this, what I'm saying is, of course, the lava drains down into the abyss of we're actually still not sure where it's actually going underneath there. If it's just draining into the lava pond and the rest of the caldera, or whether it's actually going back into some lava tubes and going back into a magma chamber. We don't know that. But what does happen, though, is the gas bubbles come up, and they will break the thinner crust on the surface here, hence the very bright spots. Let's pop over to this next one. This is the daytime shot from right now, or very close to it, about 6 minutes old. We do see some open lava in a few spots here. Level seems to be about the same still, and not really increased any. We do look over here in the toe area, though. That lava level is way down. And again, now that we have a better look here, our crack is either it's crumbling or it's closing, one of the two, because we used to be able to see that very, very well. And there is definite deformation happening of some sort right in that area. So very, very neat, very interesting to see. Next shot, of course, is this one, and that is from 5:18 a.m. Today. And that is, of course, the lava pond. You can't see the primary vent. You can see the little spot here. That's actually the top of the Hornito, where the lava tube feeds it. But let's refresh that, take a look at the daytime image. There it is, not so much smoke today, so we can see a little better. And there's your primary vent. There's the Hornito, there's the lava pond, of course, and the toe area. And we see along the sides here some smoke slash steam and everything else going way up on the sides. And that, of course, is emanating out of the wall a little further up, as well as down on the bottom. So very cool to see that, and always kind of wonder where that's coming from. We do see it also around the backside of the caldera there, and very hard to see out there today, so I'm not going to guesstimate. But we do see one spot over here that is kind of pluming up as well. And that's a little further back from the edge. So it makes you wonder what's going on there. Maybe we will see some action in the future. This picture, of course, is from the 22nd. They still have not fixed that camera, where I'll keep checking it and see what happens. Moving on to the thermal, this one was from 5:12 a.m. Primary vent there. There's your Hornito lava pond. And the toe area, still missing a lot of lava. That is very dark over there, so that toe area might be done. And I don't know, that Hornito is not looking very bright either. Let's refresh that, take a look at what it is right now. This is the current picture from 4 minutes ago. We see it here, primary vent, lava pond, and Hornito, and there's your toe area. We do still see it's fairly light around the edges, pretty cool looking. But that's it for right now. I'm going to go take another break, and of course, then when we get back, we will take a look at a beautiful sunset. Nah, we don't want sunsets, do we? That was at 6:31 in the morning. That's a sunrise. So I guess that's the opposite of a sunset. Let's put it on some lavely lava for you, and we'll straighten that screen out and let that play. That is awesome, you guys. And we will turn the music back on. So for all those good people here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. Give it a quick bop if you're enjoying the show. Also, if you're sitting on the outside and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. And don't forget to hit the bell notification while you're there. Mummy Mus, welcome. I'm glad to have you back on board, and nice to see you. Long time. And did I miss anyone else sneaking in here? Yeah, Brian Rock Rail fan saying goodbye for now. Brian, sorry I missed you coming in there, but good that you popped in. And of course, having Jed on board, that is also good. Thanks, Jed. I appreciate that wonderful super chat. On that note, I am going to hit that music, and we'll be back in a little while. Don't go away, guys. Thanks. And there we go. That microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching a VolcanoX live stream. And of course, the footage on the screen, sometimes it goes awry, but that is our wonderful 2 pineapples that provided that lovely footage. And they will get the camera reset there, so no worries, it's all good. Things move sometimes, and that happens, so all good. And we really do appreciate the fact that they let us use this wonderful footage. And of course, this was from very early this morning there in Hawaii, so on the big island at Mauna Loa, or about 6 kilometers away or thereabouts, so pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for the welcome backs from Leo Carlson and Sue Hayes, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, and all good, so no worries, and glad to be back. So let's carry on with while they're moving that around. All right, hold it still. There we go. They've got it. They found the right spot. There it is. It's lava, and it's fountainous lava. We love it. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the other things. We did want to go back to, I'm going to actually stop that for right now. Go back to the sunrise picture. Going to refresh that one, see what it looks like right now. And that is a fairly clear and clean looking caldera. And this is kind of amazing. You know, we've seen it started here in the caldera. We can see the line here that I'm kind of pointing at. That is where the wonderful lava started out. And of course that closed off, and everything is to the north in the northern rift zone area. So that is kind of what we see there. And it's nothing happening in the caldera itself. The things that you may have heard on from some of the other sites who are blowing it out of proportion was that there was also eruptive activity on the south side of this caldera, which is not factual. There is no lava flow. There is no off-gassing or big steaming or anything like that. So all the activity is in the northern area. And again, if I have the right map going here, we can take a look at that map. I just need to move it up for a second. If we got the right spot here, well, I'll move it up there. That should work. And there you can get a pretty good idea of where it was. That was from November 30th. And it's very close. Actually, I wanted the other one from November. That should be this guy here. And there we go. No, that was actually the first one. So I'll have to redo that. I thought I had loaded the other one here. I don't know where it went, but we'll get rid of these two. That way, well, I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm just going to not use them for now. Anyway, that is what we had going on there. And of course, we already talked about the immense amount of SO2 that was coming out of there. And we can take another look at that just to kind of study it really quickly. I'm going to refresh that, see what the current levels are. And Kevin Haynes, thank you for that wonderful $2 super chat, and saying good night all, cleaning tomorrow. Excellent, and that's awesome, Kevin. Thank you very kindly for your wonderful support, and do appreciate that. And thanks. Let's go write that down, $2, and that's very kind of you. Appreciate that wonderful super chat. Anyway, looking at our SO2 pattern that's come out, so definitely inundating all the way up into Toronto area, and definitely going through Mexico, Arizona, and looks like a New Mexico there, and a lot of the other states that are being buried by it. Texas probably getting the most of that brunt, and then Arkansas and Mississippi and Louisiana also, same as Alabama, and all the way into Georgia, going up. Even the Appalachians are getting some SO2 as well, and going all the way up to, does it look like a Chicago area? Yeah, Michigan up here, definitely getting up there. So pretty high levels too at that. When we click there, 126 grams per cubic or square meter. So very high that way. Let's get rid of this. All right, so lots of SO2 from that wonderful volcano, and if it continues on for about 25 more days or so, we'll see how much it really messes things up. But for right now, that is what we see. What we need out here is some big tropical storm, with some heavy rain to wash that out of the air. Will this SO2 plume draw the snow and cold temperatures? Well, it's that's going to be kind of a double-edged sword there, Bob. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. We've noticed, though, with any eruption, typically that we see a temperature decrease in areas because of the SO2 reflecting a little bit more sunlight. And we don't know what's going to happen with this as of yet, if it's actually going to affect the temperatures on the planet. But we'll definitely keep an eye on this. It's too early to tell. This is, this is an output. Of course, this is fairly heavy duty, but we're going to see what happens in the next coming week, really. If it does this for a whole week, this is going to be all over. It's going to get into the jet stream over here, and we're going to end up having it end up in Europe and those places. If it bends down a little bit more here, we'll see it start moving in, and the European area will get it as well, and it will circumvent the globe with due time. So make some may make for some interesting storms. Yeah, it definitely could, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen with it as of yet. Anyway, let's pop over and take a look at the earthquakes in Hawaii, since that was what was next on our agenda. And we've got a pretty good idea that, of course, Mauna Loa doing its thing. Just real quick, checking out the Hawaiian Islands, and of course Mauna Loa being on the primary hotspot there. Just so you know, that big island of Hawaii, 770,000 years old. So in another 5 million years, this island will be over here. That's how long it took this island to make it that far. About 3.8 million years for Oahu, which used to be over here as well, and it has been pushed. So that's where they are. Anyway, thanks, Leo, for bringing that link up. For those people who want to go over and take a look at the Hawaii map, there is a map with a bunch of different sensors on it and stuff. We didn't go to it tonight because I'm trying to compress time a little bit. But let's have a look and see what we've got for earthquakes in the area. We know Lu'ihi Seamound is way out here, so we're not going to worry about that. These ones are a little closer in. Most of everything in Pahala is between about 26 to about 37 kilometers down, and that is what we've got. Who snuck in here? Matt Martin, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to have you on back. I have you back in here. Could the big crack go into the ocean and cause a tsunami? Big crack? No. Which crack are you referring to, Matt? Not sure what one you're talking about. Anyway, Louis He Seamound there, and our first earthquake, of course, out here, 1.93 a.m. and 32.5 kilometers down for that guy. The other ones out here is this 2.1 from 10 of 28, and that is all good. Then not too much, real close to Pahala. We have this 2.2, 6:52 a.m. there. Let's grab this guy out here, 2.0, 15:13 was the time on that one. Then we see this 1.8, 10:02 a.m. and then we have a 2.1 sitting there at 3:45 a.m. This one is a 2.2, and that is from 16:35. Then a 1.8 from 14:20. These are all relatively small quakes, nothing serious to worry about. We'll catch these two when we come down off of Mauna Loa. And let's take a look. So the southern area where we really have no activity or no active lava, no open fissures of any type, and that is kind of what we're seeing over there. The one off the coast, east coast, next to the other volcano. Not Mauna Loa, the other one. Well, the other one, this over here, that's Kilauea. So the other one you're thinking, this is Louis He Seamound. If we turn on the ocean map, there you can see it. So that is Louis He Seamound. And I don't think there's anything that's going to crack open there. But, like, honestly, we don't know what could happen. We do have, like, if you're looking at the lines of fissures, we do have a bunch of fissures going all the way down. This whole area, could something happen to it? Yeah, definitely could, but I don't think it will. I don't believe there's any imminent danger by Kilauea. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything drop down into the ocean or split open or anything like that. If anything, even this lava here is kind of contained within the central regions. So I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference if this thing is, if it follows suit with an average eruption of 25 days, then it really isn't going to make a heck of a lot of difference. And most of our flow is going down in this area here. Heading towards the road, if we turn that on, there it is. So there's your corner, that's the target area. So the lava is getting down on the flats down here. It'll spread out, fan out, just like what we've seen in other places, like let's think, well, I'm trying to think of Iceland, Meridalia Valley, when the lava really spread out. So when was the last time Mauna Loa went off? 1984 is when it had its last reasonable eruption. Anyway, let's take a look at these earthquakes. So we got this guy here, 0.9, 2235, 700 meters above sea level. This one is 1.2 from 1141, 1 kilometer above sea level. This one is 2.1, 900 meters above sea level from 1232. And then we see this one, 2.0, yesterday's 2123, 1.1 clicks above sea level, 1.8 from today at 1136, and that is, 1 kilometer above sea level. And this one is a 1.9 1.3 kilometers above sea level at 5:19 a.m. Then at 1.6 at 7:03, 1.3 kilometers above sea level. This is getting into the caldera. 1.7, and that is 4:56 a.m. and that is 1.4 kilometers above sea level. This one is 2.2 in magnitude, 15:23, and that is 1.7 kilometers above sea level. Then we've got another 1.7, 3:55 a.m. We're going to leave the depths alone here. 2.0, 3:25 this morning. 1.9 yesterday, 21:31. This one is a 1.8, 35 minutes after midnight, 1.4 kilometers up. And this one is a 1.5, 13 minutes after 11 a.m. Then we see a 2.2, 14:09, 200 meters above sea level. Then that guy there, 2.0, 4:21 a.m. and that is 1.1 kilometers above sea level. Now let's get over here and see these newer ones. And I'm a little bit kind of weirded out here. If, we see these earthquakes headed this way, but the lava's flowing this way. So are we going to see more fissures open up here? That is a possibility, but I'm, just looking at the activity here rather than making a judgment. Is it possible? That's a question we ask, and we'll see. Anyway, 1.9, 18:39, 600 meters below sea level for that one. Then we've got this one, 1.8, and that is 18:34, 2.8 kilometers above sea level, so it must be just about a surface quake. This one here, 1.2, yesterday, 21:48. We'll grab that guy down here, 1.4, 9:20 a.m., 4.9 kilometers below sea level. 2.4, a little bit bigger, 2:16 a.m., and 600 meters above sea level for that one, and a 1.8 right there. That is from 1826 and 800 meters below sea level. We don't see anything else on the western or northwestern side. It's kind of weird that we don't see any more. Mind you, if the pressure is off and that ground is not being pushed up or forced up, we've got an exit hole over here now to take the pressure off. We're not going to see anything there. Let's take a look at what we've got over here at our wonderful Kilauea, and we'll look at that. 2.3, and that happened at 14:43, 1.3 kilometers below sea level, and then this one 2.2, 1.5 kilometers below sea level at 2:56 a.m. For that one. So a couple of shakers there, and let's hope that is going to shake the plumbing back open and we get a larger flow in Kilauea. I would love to see that. The other thing is, if we do get a bunch of fissures opening up in this region, where's it going to go down? It's going to head towards Kilauea. Maybe it'll go right into Kilauea. That would be awesome, eh? A volcano pouring into a volcano? I've never seen that before, but that'll be weird. Anyway, and then we've got a 1.8 down here, 4:06 a.m., 1.2 kilometers below sea level, and another 1.8, and that one's a little deeper, 14.7 kilometers down from 1705. So that's it for the for Hawaii as far as the earthquakes are concerned. We'll take a real quick zip around the planet and see what we've got. I see a red spot right there. Stanley, Idaho, 2.6 from 1908, 10 kilometers down. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. This 3.9 in Big Pine, California, 5:21 is the time on that this morning. 8.2 kilometers down for him. and we see a couple more out here in Texas. 3.07, 28 a.m., 9.8 kilometers down for him. And that little swarm continues over here. 3.2 is the magnitude, 1415, 5.1 clicks down. Then we've got a 2.9 in western Texas as well, 6.6 kilometers down, happened at 1 p.m. Their time. Sliding down a little bit more, El Salvador, 4.2 just off the shore. From 1:49 a.m., 57.8 kilometers down. Then we go down here and take a look. Looks like the that's the Cocos Plate, and this is the oh boy, what's the name of that one? I forgot the other plate. Oh darn it! Anyway, that is the other plate right there. Aztec, yeah, the Aztec Plate, I think, is what it's called. Anyway, we see that 4.5, 1:46 a.m., 10 kilometers down, and we've got this one, 4.6, Ecuador, 40.3 kilometers down, 8:44 a.m. Then we see two up here, one is Colombia and one is Venezuela, I think, 4.1, 6:24 a.m., 156 clicks down. And no, they're both in Colombia, very close though to the Venezuelan border. 4.4, 1609, 10 clicks down for him. We do see that larger one, 4.5, and Antigua Barbuda, and that is from 18.3 clicks down. 13:43 is the time on it, and it is a break time. So what I'm going to do is just finish off South America, and I'm going to take a break. 4.6 here in Chile, 6:40 in the morning, 112.9 clicks down for him. And then we've got a 4.4, 10:45 is the time, 150.8 kilometers down for that one. And we see this one in Argentina, 4.5, and that is 17:40, and that is at 178.4 kilometers down. And a very small one down here in Chile, 3.9, 10:25 a.m., 34.7 clicks down for him. We will check the other areas here after the break. I need to take that break. My voice, I can feel it. It's starting to, so we need to do it. I dreamt that, Doc. Oh, you dreamt about that 2 weeks ago? That is interesting. Anyway, let's see what we can do. For right now, though, I will put you back onto, some lava, if I can find it. What the heck happened to my lava? I know it's here somewhere, and we'll get it going for you. And that should work. Is that just about right? Yeah, that looks like it's on there. Okay, for those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. Give it a bop if you are enjoying the show. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. Do Free popped in. Hey, Tom, I feel better. And stop at the top of the hour, Doc. Yeah, I'll work on it. I'm going to try to finish it up by 8. So no worries. Anyway, all right. We'll see the stream stop once in a while. Don't panic. It's just it was stopping from them transmitting. Anyway, don't go away, you guys. Throw the music on and keep smiling. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. And all good. I don't like the start of that song. I don't like that one either. That'll work. Okay. I'm your host, DrFox2000 here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes and Leo Carlson, and I guess Frajola, welcome. What's in the hood? There's lots of things in the hood. Just trying to keep apprised of all the lava that's pouring out of here. And that is somewhere between 50 and 100 cubic meters per second. But I think it might have slowed down a little bit. But anyway, welcome, and let's get back at things. Where were we? We were looking at earthquakes. So let's go back to the earthquake map. We'll leave that be, and we'll go back here and zoom in on a few places we wanted to check. And of course, we were already did North and South America. So the next place to check, of course, is here, and we see another 5.1 in New Zealand, and this is not under Taupo. This is over to the north a little bit. There's Taupo there. So we now have shakers happening at what do they call that? East of the Sea of Tokoroa, if I said it right. But anyway, that is where that is, and that happened at 2207 on the 1st, 168.2 kilometers down. So there is more shaking going on there in New Zealand. And going up the Kermadec Ridge, 4.8, Kermadec Island region, 6:09 a.m. and 38.1 kilometers down for it. Way down at the other end, Tonga area, 4.6, and that of course happened at 15:33 and 10.9 kilometers down for it. And let's slide over into our Indonesian area. We don't see too much going on there. We got a 4.5 down here, 5:49 a.m., 181.9 kilometers down. Then we see this guy, 4.5 from yesterday, 1947, and 39.9 clicks down, and a 5.0 from 1:55 a.m., 155 kilometers down. That's convenient. Everything is a 155. Sliding up a little bit more, looking at Japan. We did have one very near to close to Tokyo. 4.6, not that big, but 5:04 a.m., 61.8 kilometers down on it. And then we get up here at the subduction area up in the Kuril Islands, I should say, 4.4. And that was 10 kilometers down, 5:45 a.m. And sliding over a bit more, looking for other ones. We do see a quake up here in Russia, Siberia, and 4.3 is the magnitude. 17:39 was the time, 10 kilometers down. Afghanistan, 4.5 from 1821 and 94 kilometers down. And more shakers happening there in the Arabian plate or microplate. And that is a 4.5 from yesterday, 23:43, 10 kilometers down. So we've had a couple there, and seems to be always in that same spot right there. Maybe this island is breaking off some more. We'll see another island here soon or something. I don't know. Anyway, looking at what's happening, we don't see any more here in the Greece area right there, the Aegean plate, so that's not moving so much. Little ones, if anything, and we do see this one, 4.5 in Bosnia-Herzegovina area, and that is 16.9 kilometers down from 13:05 is at the time on that. So zooming out real quick, we don't see too many more. I do want to check the Canary Islands. See what we've got for quakes there real quick. Gonna refresh, and then we will zoom out and take a look and see what we have new up here. This one was from yesterday at 9:21, 3.4, and that is all good there. And that 3.4 is 40 kilometers down, nothing major to worry about. And we do see a couple extras here. So this 2.9 from yesterday, 6:27 a.m. For that guy, and that was 2.9. What was the depth? 6 kilometers down for him. And then we have another one just north, straight north of Tenerife, of 2.4, and that was on the 30th, of course, 26 minutes after midnight. Not going to worry about him. We see the new one flashing here, 2.3, and that was at 10:22 their time in Tenerife today. And zooming in on La Palma, of course, and looking at La Palma, we do have, what do we got? 2 quakes, and there's one right there, a 1.4, and it is 2 kilometers down, happened at 2:20 a.m., and the location of that one would suggest to me that that is lava compressing the ground, or some lava tubes are crumbling. This one here is a 0.8, very close, a similar area, and very likely the same cause. 4:08 a.m. 2 kilometers down for that one. Can you do the volcano on report for Australia next? Yeah, we're going to go on the Australian volcano map right away. This is the worldwide volcano map, and we will provide you with a full report of what's coming up there in the very jelly here in Australia. Is it jelly there? That is interesting. Any shakers? I'm just curious. Anyway, there's our volcano map of the world, and we do see that we have our 2 in Iceland, 2 in the Azores, Michael volcano down here, South Sandwich Islands, our ring of fire on the eastern side, of course, which is the western coast of North America, Central America, and South America, are all still pretty much the same. I don't see any changes in here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. We do see a bunch of little quakes in there as well. This map will continue to hold those for a while, so we won't worry about them. Sliding across the top of the ring of fire, we do see Pavlov up there, Cleveland there, Great Sitkins, and Takawangha is still showing as a yellow, and Semi, of course, being there. Our friends here in the Kamchatka Peninsula, all still there, all 4 of them on the peninsula itself, and our trio just below. So all good there. And sliding out a little bit more, we see Japan, nothing new. Nishimoshima still there. Iwajima still doing its thing, and haven't heard any more about if there has been any more rise in seafloor level there from the Ahai volcano there in the Mariana Islands. It would be interesting to see updates, but I haven't seen any as of yet. And looking there at our Philippine area, pretty much normal, nothing new. Ibu and Dacono still working away. Luolatok there, Semaru, Marapi, and Krakatau all still red. Raung not doing so much. And of course, then we've got our ones here in Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands, as well as Gawa and Aoba there in Vanuatu, as well as Yasur, of course, and of course then Home Island or Home Reef volcano, and then Tofua there in Tonga, and of course here in a White Isle volcano in New Zealand, as well as Taupur. And that is kind of what we got there. I hope I said that name better. And since you wanted a full report on Australia's volcanoes, there we go. And there it is. Nur Volcanic Provincial Volcano is quiet and very, very sedate. So you don't need to worry about it, and it's all good. You'll be very, very at ease there, Manimas. So that is your Australian volcano report for today, and I hope you fully understand that one. We're quiet. So let's zoom out. That way you can see where the ring of fire actually is located, and it's all the way around the Pacific Rim. Unfortunately, Australia doesn't have any real active live ones. They are too far away from the subduction areas to have those volcanoes. All right, let's carry on. We want to move on and do some weather stuff. And we already looked at this guy earlier, and that is our SO2 map. And of course, I'm refreshing it so it is up to date. There it is. And pardon me. We see what it's doing. Looks like we're getting more of a plume out the back here. Wonder where that's going to end up. Looks like it's almost trying to push that into it'd be Oregon over there. But anyway, we do see this pluming out, and that is getting all the way into Ontario and Quebec already, as well as many states in the eastern states, including very heavy in places like Florida and Georgia and Alabama, those places. Places that you wouldn't expect to see such high levels of SO2, and that includes down here in Cuba. You know, that's like wow. And this whole area in here, many of the islands that are around are all getting that SO2 from Mauna Loa, sorry. And we see this plume going upward here, and it's getting up into Greenland. So lots of stuff going on there. That SO2 is coming out at a rate of approximately 180,000 tons per day out of Mauna Loa. That's a large number. Anyway, looking at the bottom southern portions here real quick, we don't see anything really wild. There are some places where it's a little heavier than others, but nothing unusual. Let's go over and take a look at the map for our weather today. And I do need to refresh that just so we have it up to date. And there we go. And I'm going to try to compress this weather really quickly. Looks warmer in Alaska. We see all this stuff coming down from Nunavut, and we really want none of it. It is cold, bitterly cold, and we see that cold is also gone all the way across the prairie provinces, most of British Columbia as well, and we see temperatures like -20, -21. Winnipeg hit by -20 as well, and some colder spots out in Saskatchewan where the wind blows, and up here in Nunavut, of course, in the -42, 43 range in some areas. Not so good. Northern Ontario's got some of it as well. Sliding over though, taking a look at the bottom end of Ontario, and today they've got warm weather, 7-8 degrees down on the bottom, and looking at about 6 degrees in Toronto right now. Not sure how long that's going to last, if this stuff is going to push over and push that low out of the way, and we'll see that happen. And of course, sliding over a little bit more, looks that warm stuff runs out halfway through Quebec, and we see the cold up in the northern portions of Quebec. Newfoundland, Labrador are not doing so well there. And then, of course, we see it fairly cool out there in Newfoundland. and a little colder even there in New Brunswick. Sue Hayes brought up Cole Harbor showing at -3, Halifax coming in at -2. So, yep, make sure those palm trees have some blankets around them. Looking at where this infiltrated all the way down into here, into the U.S. Northwestern states, all very cold. We got that big high sitting over top of, almost over top of Yellowstone. It's kind of Idaho and Wyoming there, and hitting parts of Montana. So that's where they've got that. Portland coming in at about 3, San Jose only 7 today, LA about 13, and yeah, that's all right. And there we go, and we see Death Valley, and we see it at what, 15 degrees. Brr, make sure you're wearing a jacket in Death Valley. 15 also there in Mexicali, also wear a jacket there. How about one in there in Phoenix too, 15, and 15 in Tucson. So everybody stay warm and wear your jackets today if you're there in those places. Looks like half of New Mexico started to warm up again to reasonable temperatures, and Texas a lot warmer today than it was yesterday. San Antonio 16, Houston 23, Dallas coming in at about 17, going up here. Oklahoma is 14 degrees right now. Looks a little warmer in Mississippi and Louisiana, and then getting a little cooler again once you get into Alabama, but not too bad. At Atlanta in Georgia coming in at about 10 degrees Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. Sliding down into the bottom end of Florida, we see anywhere from 25 to about 19 degrees. As soon as you get up here, 15 up in the Panhandle area and stuff. And looking at South Carolina, anywhere from, depending on where you are, coastal temperatures are probably a lot better, but looking at what we're seeing there, anywhere from about 13 down to 9 degrees Celsius. So 50, 60 degree temperatures. Same over here, Riley, where Grandma B lives, and we seeing about 7 degrees, 8 degrees, and then be roughly about 46 Fahrenheit, something like that. Rough calculation. So if I'm wrong, sorry. Anyway, we do see the coastal areas again are a lot warmer with that warm air pushing up against it. And Virginia Beach 10, pardon me, 2, 3 up in Philadelphia, 5 in New York, Boston coming in at 1, 2, and 3, depending on where you hold that hamster. Sliding down into Mexico, a little bit warmer there again, and the Baja, that cold has left, and it's nowhere near as cold as it was yesterday. 26 in Cancun, sliding down through Central America. Low, lots of low pressure zones, hence all that stormy and bad weather that we keep getting there. Looking at our Brazilian rainforest, the Amazon, and it's not just Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, and many of those other countries also have the jungles in there, so not bad looking. Sao Paulo at 24 degrees right now. That's Sao Paulo 21, as Rio de Janeiro was 24. A little bit better, and that's what we like to see. And 20 in Buenos Aires, and of course we're seeing mixed temperatures here from about 14 on up to about 25 in the northern portions of Uruguay. Paraguay 23 to about 24 degrees. So that's pretty easy. And South America, Argentina, I should say, here in South America. It's got some warmer spots with 25, 27 in some places, but also some cold stuff way down to 4 or 5 degrees in the bottom. Looks a little warmer there in our wonderful New Zealand. Christchurch coming in at about 15. We still see some colder temperatures up in the highlands. That's not so bad. Wellington about 14 degrees, and not quite as warm there in the highlands there, but not too bad, and about 18, 19 in Auckland. So hopefully things will simmer down there for those guys. And taking a look at Tasmania, incredible. They've got 24 degrees in Hobart, 25 degrees, and looking at this, 25, 26 in some spots. They must be just roasting down there. And Melbourne coming in at, holy mackerel, 28 degrees, right around there somewhere. That is definitely awesome. And Leo is probably going to have a barbecue. Leo, with that kind of temperature, you could have a barbecue. You know that. That is awesome, as long as it's not raining. And that would be pretty cool. Anyway, we do poke our mouse over here and take a look at some of these temperatures. 42 degrees. Melbourne coming in at 29, 36% relative humidity. It's a dry heat. 25, 26 in Perth, and that's not bad either. Going over to Sydney, not quite as warm, 21, 22. And home of Oz, Brisbane, is coming in at about 26 degrees. That would make for a very beautiful day if it wasn't raining. And again, we look up in the northern portions here. 42 degrees looks like about the top temperature that is happening in Australia. So very, very warm there. And let's see, Leo, you got that. Beautiful weather today, maybe barbecue this evening. And cool here one, okay. Is it a cool one? That is kind of odd if it's a cool. 25 is kind of a nice temperature. That's better than having a minus 25. Trust me. Anyway, going up into our Indonesian, Philippine, and Malaysian areas, we see that is all pretty good. And we will take a look and see what Bangkok is, about 27, 28 degrees Celsius. 68% humidity, and not too bad. Sliding up and looking at Japan, definitely back to the cold stuff that we've seen there, and they are not so warm. Bottom end here, a little bit warmer than yesterday, but still quite cool. And Avatar 23, welcome. And Daniel J. Fox, PhD, is a licensed psychologist in Texas, international speaker, and multiple something. Well, I'm happy he's a multiple something, but that is not I. But thank you. Anyway, we do see Kamchatka Peninsula a little bit on the colder side. And of course, Siberia, already seeing a minus 46 up there. Brr. And that is very good there in India. Sri Lanka holding in some 26 degrees. Bottom end of India, pretty nice, but up in Delhi down to about 6. Cape Town not quite as warm today, only about 14 degrees. And we see the bottom end here with some lows and stuff, kicking up some of that cold Antarctic air for them. We see Central Africa not bad. Same thing with our Madagascar, looking kind of normal for the most part. We see heat redeveloping there in the Sahara Desert. Not that much though. Still only 14 in Cairo. And that is not as warm as it could be. And UAE only coming in about 19, 20 to 22 degrees. 24 in a couple of spots there, but Oman a little bit cooler as well. Same thing with Yemen. Baghdad coming in at about 12. We see that cold up here in would be Syria and those places. So not so good. And Turkey looks about the same as it was yesterday. And we'll check Piggy's weather there on the island of Kos in Greece, and 16, 17 there for her tonight, and hopefully she's getting some good sleep. Looking at Crete, bottom end looks better than the north side. Thanks Leo for bringing that one up, and that'll be for Piggy there, 16 degrees Celsius or 61 Fahrenheit, and fair conditions and the island of Kos. And of course our Yvonne Kunkel is out here in Sicily, and she will be freezing tomorrow when she goes up on Mount Etna. And of course she is a volcanologist, and it is Dr. Yvonne Kunkel, and she will be doing some tests and inspections and stuff like that. So hopefully she stays safe in all that snow. Looking at the coastal areas for Italy, most of them look a little warmer, but we do still see the northeastern side fairly cool here. Rome coming in at about 12. Naples was about 12, 13. Up here in Milano, only about 6. This is a New Irish Monkland. Hang on, I'm confusing myself. What the heck island is that? Yeah. Oh, I'll get it. Anyway, I'll leave it as that. He needs to come there and light a fire, that Irish monk guy. And looking at, Sardinia, that's it. I was trying to remember fish, Sardinia, and there we go. And looking at Portugal and Spain, not too well today. Cold temperatures. Actually, it looks like a little warmer up here in France than it is down there in Spain. A little colder in Germany though. Munich coming in at -1, Frankfurt 0, Cologne coming in at 1, -1 in Berlin, 0 in Hamburg. Looking at London real quick, we see 4 degrees there, not -4. Wales maybe a little cooler, and Scotland up top, not bad. And Ireland, of course, about 5, 6 degrees, and Doolin would be there as well. And thank you, Arizona Snowman. And looking here, we see 2 degrees up in Copenhagen, and going up, seeing Stockholm -2, Oslo 1 degree, and Riga coming in at about -4, and then up here is St. Petersburg -7, Moscow. Where are you? You're here. There you are. -13 today in Moscow. And that only leaves us with one place to have a look at real quick, and that of course is Iceland, and we see that we are at about 2 degrees Celsius, and that is not very warm, but you know, it is December, and that is to be expected. If you're going to Ragnar or that area, dress really warm, 1 or 2 degrees depending on where you're standing. Let's zoom out real quick, take a quick look at precipitation. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Snow up in the Canadian and Alaskan northern portions. We've got a storm off the coast of Vancouver Island. We've got some snow coming in through the Rockies. We have here in, of course, the low that was there in Hudson's Bay has slid down a little bit into Ontario, so northern portions, Ontario and Quebec, getting some snow, and also dragging some of that down into the U.S. lake effect stuff happening around the bottom end of our Ontario province, looking pretty clear out there in the eastern portions. So Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, and those areas pretty good. A little bit up in Labrador there. We do see this stormy stuff out here around, all the way from Memphis up to, I guess, all the way up to, what is that? That's Lake Erie, or one of the lakes. Anyway, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, right? I think. Anyway, all the way up, going up into Ontario as well, and they've got some ice rain up there. And I'm not going to worry about that. Seattle and those areas, Vancouver Island, going to get that. And sliding down into Central America, we see more storms. Those lows are continuing to do that. South America, rainforest, and those areas are getting rain, popping over, having a quick peak there in New Zealand. Not very much rain for them at all. That high is probably helping, and that is really good. Don't see any rain in Tasmania, nothing in most of Australia. A couple little spots here and there, but not bad. And sliding over and looking at Fiji and that area, Vanuatu. They've got some storms happening there. And Papua New Guinea storms, and lo and behold, storms in this area. Who would have figured in the Indonesian and Malaysian areas? Anyway, sliding up a little bit more, we see just off of Taiwan here, we've got a storm coming in, and we'll see what happens with that one. And Sea of Japan got some snow and rain, and Kamchatka. And up here in the north, they've got some snow and rain as well. Indian Ocean, not bad. Southern portions of Africa, not bad. Some fog here in Central Africa, and of course some rain and storms. Dry in the Sahara and the Middle East portions. And no rain for Piggy right now. At least I don't see any in the cost. We do see that stuff kind of lightening up a little bit. Hope there's not too much more snow on Mount Etna. And we see this system in here. This will eventually try to curl around. Depends on what this flow does here. If that flow keeps coming back north, that will maybe drive that back into France. But I've got a sneaky hunch that's going to end up coming across here again, and it's going to sit and cause problems for Italy. And look at this nice curl. Wow, that low is really powerful. Seeing lots of fog in Spain, some rain there, and snow in France. A little bit of snow here in the eastern portions of Germany, but fog down in the bottom. A little bit of snow in Denmark as well. Ireland looks like some fog. A little bit of rain on the eastern side of England, and the rest looks pretty good there. And looking here real quick, just Oslo area got some snow, a little bit in Sweden, and some in Finland, nothing too severe. And looks like ice rain and fog is the prescription for Iceland right now. And that is it for our weather. Let's take a really quick look for some cold temperatures. Let's see what we've got. We've got up here, I've seen a minus 49 in here, right there. And that is that Ellesmere Island? No, Ellesmere is one of these up here. But minus 49 over there so far, so that is pretty darn cold. Let's see if we can find a minus 50 just to rub it in. And minus 46, no, minus 49, where are you? yeah, it's minus 49 right in here. So, yeah, for minus 49 over there, and let's go over to Russia and take a look and see what we've got there in the deep freeze in Siberia. And we check the river valley. It's usually really, really cold. All right, minus 42, 43, and we'll go up a little bit and look, and we aren't seeing anything super, super cold there, minus 44. Let's take a look at a couple of the other spots. Actually, that is the coldest area right there. Let's zoom back in here. There's got to be something colder than that, minus 44. And we seen it earlier. There was a minus 48 over here, but and minus 46 must be right there, minus 47. So yeah, minus 48. That's where I seen it. So that's what I'm going to live with, and that is pretty darn cold. Minus 48 degrees there in Siberia, and then we will take a look at the Antarctic and see how our ant is doing in the Arctic. And let's see what we got so far. Looks pretty balmy for the most part, and I don't see anything really super, super cold down there. Minus 41 looks like is about the coldest temperature I see. Sue has already whooped me. Yeah, I'm only a minus 41 degrees Celsius down here. Don't see anything colder, so all good for right now. So I'm calling minus 41 for Antarctic, and I'm calling a minus 48 up there in the Canadian Great White North, yeah, sorry, what did I say? Yeah, something like that. And then Siberia, minus 48, 41, and yeah. Okay, so we tied with Antarctica, 48. Doc says 48. Also in Siberia, okay. And Sue has 50, minus 55 up north in Canada. Brr, where the heck did you find that? Up here somewhere. Minus 42. I don't know where you found that. Minus 40. Oh, hang on. Maybe it is here on Ellesmere Island, and there's minus 45, 46, and darn it, minus 47. Okay, well, looks like I'm going to leave it at that. Minus 47 is what I see there. So in the Canadian cold areas, well, I'll leave it as that. I'm losing my voice, that's why I'm going to quit. So all good, and thank you very kindly for being here today, everyone. That is all awesome. So Sue, you win today. You whooped me as far as the minus 55 up north. Call it a tie. Well, minus 55, I didn't find that. Anyway, that is all good. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I'll let you go feed the I'll go do the penguins, and you can do the other ones, the mammoths. So that's all cool. The mammoths and the Russian reindeer. They are pretty tough animals. All right, it is time to say good night to everyone. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate all of you. Did you get the email from me today? I have not had a look. Let me look real quick, Oz. And no, I didn't. Not today. let's see if it came in yesterday. No, no Oz, I did not get an email from you today. Sorry. I see the other ones that I've got, but I didn't get one from you. And that's unfortunate, but it didn't do it. So anyway, let me turn that lava back on. And anyway, you might want to try it again, Oz, and see what you can do. I'm going to say thank you to our wonderful supporters for the channel today. And of course, oh, we get commercials. We get free commercials, you guys. We can skip those ads, so. And anyway, we'll thank that guy called Dr. Fox. He gifted 5 memberships for free there. And then Storm Chaser 1211 threw in an awesome super chat, as well as Oz threw in a super chat. Cookster Littlefield threw in a super chat. Wonky Donkey threw in a super chat. And James, or Jed, as we call him, James Donnelly, also threw in a wonderful super chat. And also Kevin Haynes threw one in. Thank you very kindly for that. That is awesome. And thank you very, very kindly for supporting the channel, all of you, all the members, as well as lavaliers in here. Really, I do appreciate it, as well as our wonderful moderators. And I see Arizona Snowman is busy as of right now. So all cool, and gotta remember, tomorrow is Saturday, you guys, so the stream starts 3 hours early. Remember that, so you don't be late. Anyway, on that friendly note, thank you all for being here. Big thank you to the moderators. Really appreciate all of you. And that is Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, as well as possibly Lucas Snow and Joseph Fields and a few others. So thank you, I appreciate it. And also a big thank you just in general to all of you here. And hopefully we'll see all of you back tomorrow. So we've seen a bunch of faces we haven't seen in here for a while. And thank you for being here, like Mummy Mus and people like that. Really, I do appreciate you guys making your way back in. Anyway, on that friendly note, it is a time for me to wrap it up and rest my voice. Be good, be kind, and take care of yourselves, please. And what I always say, most of all, please, please, tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000. Take care, everyone, and good night. Oink, oink. Bye.